How to correctly number and design end paper pages. An end paper is an element of hardcover binding glued to the inside of the case and joined with the book block. It is a sheet of paper, usually of a higher density than used for the book block. The main purpose of end papers is to bind the book block with the cover. In this video, we will look at the most popular type of end paper called a tipped-in end paper. Tipped-in end papers are two folded sheets glued to the inside of the front and back cover and to the book block. The end papers are not a part of the book block and are not included in the page count. End papers can be printed or unprinted, either just white or made using mass-dyed paper. The book block is fixed to the cover by means of front and back end papers. There are 4 pages of the front tipped-in end paper. First, second, third, and fourth. The first page is not printed. It will be glued to the case. Pages 2 and 3 can include graphics. The fourth page can be printed too. The back tipped-in end paper also comprises 4 pages. First, second, third, and fourth. Here, the first page can be printed. Pages 2 to 3 can include graphics, and the fourth page is left blank. This page will be glued to the case. When you want to print on the second and third page of the end papers, you need to prepare a double-page spread design. Name the file front end paper. If the back end paper is to have the same graphics, name the file front and back end paper accordingly. If the back end paper is differently designed, we need to get a separate file from you named back end paper. If the pages are to be printed on both sides, we will need to have 2 double-page spreads from you. These can be in 2 separate files or in one. In the front end paper, it is pages 4 and 1, where the first page will not be printed, and pages 2 and 3, where both pages will be printed. In the back end paper, it is pages 4 and 1, where page 4 will not be printed, and pages 2 and 3, where both will be printed. If only one page is to be printed and you don't tell us which, the graphics can be printed on page 4 instead of 2. If only pages 2 and 3 are to be printed with the same graphics on the front and back end paper, make sure you include this information. If the graphic designs of the front and of the back end paper are different, send us the files with appropriate names. How to prepare a graphic design for end papers using InDesign. The size of a single end paper is the size of a single book block page. In this video, we use the example of an end paper printed on both sides. Put in the net format, for instance, 210 by 297 millimeters. Type in the number of pages, 4. Check the facing pages box. Define the margins and specify the bleeds. In our case, it is 3 millimeters. Enter the Pages panel. We've got a single first page, a spread for pages 2 to 3, and a single fourth page. Right-click on any page and select Allow Document Pages to shuffle. Pick page 4 and drag it to join page 1. As you can see, we now have 2 spreads for the end papers. Note that the numbering of pages as shown in the graphics software does not reflect the end paper page numbers. First, design the front end papers. The first page in the program is actually the 4th page of the front end paper and will be printed. The second page is the first page of the front end paper and must remain unprinted because it will be glued to the case. Next, design pages 2 and 3 of the end paper, which will also include graphics. If the design is finished, name the file front end paper and save it. When generating the PDF for printing, go to the General Settings panel and select Spreads. Design the back end paper. Start with page 4 of the end paper. In the program, it is numbered as page 1. The page will remain blank because it will be glued to the case. The following page is the first page of the end paper printed. Next, design pages 2 and 3 of the end paper, which will also include graphics. If the design is finished, name the file Back End Paper and save it. We hope you find our advice helpful. We wish you a good design experience.